What's up, guys? It's Ninja Hona Ninja, and basically, I got a quick, well, not quick, but we'll see. It was a good video for you. I want you to know that this was known then. It is known now, and is taking advantage. It is taken advantage of to the fullest extent to make you feel stupid, to make others feel good, to make them feel great. And this is why we have false alphas and why we have real alphas. And so why bias exists where you hate somebody because they aren't, like, what's called. When I log on, I know it's this face, and because these faces are not those faces, I hate them, and that bias exists, basically. Right? Uh, and you gotta stop being ruled and you gotta stop being controlled by these things. And that's why you need certain adults like myself who will get you over that hump of bias and able to see the reality and the truth, basically. Because again, what I'm about to show you, like they did a good job in fully explaining everything as it should. But again, this is probably made in like 1990s, which is why it's so good. It's because you don't have this anymore. Like, I grew up and literally we had teachers that were really good, and then next year we had teachers, or like not even next year, but like what's called one day we showed up and the teachers were gone and replaced with book teachers, and you ask them something and they can answer it because it wasn't in the book. And so why is it like, oh, I don't know because it's not, the book doesn't answer that question, so I don't know. And it's like, okay, so why the fuck are you here? You know what I'm saying? And the idea is because she was willing to work for $10 a year, and the other teacher wasn't. Essentially, and that's how it happened. But the point is that your intelligence. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem. The people in charge of the system want you to suck, and want you to fail, and want you to not do well. And this is the result. And this, just check it out. Just watch.
These are anagrams. Just do the first one only. An anagram is rearrange the letters to form a word. When you're done, I need to see your hand raised. Put your hands down. Let's just go to number 2. Don't even worry about number 1. When you're done, I want to see your hands up. For number 3, rearrange the letters, and as soon as you do, go ahead and put your hand up. Here's what you need to know. You were both given 2 different lists. This side of the room was given these 3 words. And left side of the room, here you go. They were given bat. What would the word be? The second one, they were given lemon. Brian, the word?
Melon.
Melon. They were easy. The trick here was both of you were given the third word, which was the same. The third word was cinerama, which was American. Your first 2 words on this side of my classroom were not solvable. They were impossible tasks. I'm sorry. I know, but here's what we did this for.
This right there, that today wouldn't be allowed. You're banned forever. How dare you? You crossed the line. You made the kids feel insecure. You made them feel unconfident. You blah blah blah. But understand, there are people that literally hold tests like this, and it's because you won't allow them to basically get involved with your work and to be critical in your work, and so it becomes what's it called? It gets your whole situation gets fucked up, basically. And so things like this are allowed to slide through because no one's allowed to analyze them for what they're worth, or they stop hiring people that do, and they just hire bootlickers. And that's why America is starting to fail, because once upon a time they wanted to hire the best to eventually be like, okay, you can handle it, I'm gonna retire, peace, right? That was the deal. But nowadays is I gotta work until I die, and so I'm gonna make sure no one can take my job ever. And it doesn't matter how old I get or how old, or whatever the age group or gap or whatever the situation is. Fuck that. Like, I'm not, no. And you know what I'm saying? So anyways, yeah.
I was able to induce something called learned helplessness in the left side of the room very easily within about 5 minutes.
left to her.
I want you to think about what happened to you, this left side of the room, when you saw the right side of the room raising their hands because they already had the task done. Jory.
Felt stupid.
You felt stupid?
Yeah.
Okay.
I felt rushed.
Felt rushed? Joelle?
I was even more confused.
You were even more confused because they all got it and you were still struggling.
See, and what happened right there, I felt confused, and she's like, and you felt confused because they all got it.
Chelsea.
They all got it, right? She understood. Whereas me, when I went to school, and I talked to the teacher, like, what are you talking about? You felt this way? That's weird. Anyways, and so now I felt helpless, basically, right?
Frustrated. And so what happened?
So the point is, I experienced this too, basically. But the thing was, instead of me shutting down, I was like, fuck school. Fuck the system. I don't give a shit. And my friends were this way. My mother was like this. Everywhere I went in my life, I had to deal with this bullshit, basically. Until recently, thank God. But
Happened to show the differences. Why did you have more of a difficult time with the third word, which was the exact same word? Brian?
My confidence was shot.
What you experienced was a term called learned helplessness. How many have heard of the term before? Let me see your hands. Learned helplessness is often used in the academic literature to mean what? Jory?
Basically, they fail once or can't do something one time, and then they apply that to everything in the future.
right. And so that is the thing. And again, it's being taken advantage of today. Back then, we had moderators and we had censors and people in charge, but now we have Destiny who performs the moderation and he's in charge, and he chooses the moderators and he chooses who's in charge. And the problem is, I'm banned from his Discord. I'm banned from his actual channel, right? And it's because they suck as moderators and because they're not good leaders. They're good followers, but they're not good leaders. Basically, they have a hot head. They can't keep their temper and keep control and stay focused. There's some side bullshit that comes on. This is why they said women will never be a president, basically because they had this problem. But we see Destiny, who's a man, with the same problem that a woman has. And we have someone like, what was it? I was fucking forget her name. Hillary Clinton, basically. She's a woman, but she's able to do it. Like, what's going on? You were wrong because, yes, in that meta, you were right, but the meta has changed. It has shifted to the point where men no longer men. Basically, you can be however you want. Before you can be, what's it called? Before you couldn't be however you want. Now you can be whatever you want. The problem is, we still have those old traditions, but we don't have men anymore. Basically, not the way we used to. And so he was born with a golden tooth in his mouth, or he got really fucking lucky, or he was able to put his paper out, and he was able to get attention and recognition and blah blah blah. And this is what I say about what's called that one streamer in America, Joe Rogan. He's too big to be shut down. That's why he's still there. The same thing with Bernie Sanders. The second you show up, they try to shut you down or shut you up, basically, and that's the problem with the left and the right, and the control and the division, and they try to split and make you fight one another and make it so you don't step up, make it so you can't amount to anything. Or they try to crush you, basically. But again, they're too big to take apart. You can't hold Joe Rogan down because he's already a big enterprise, but a new up becoming star like myself, for example, I can be shut down. The reason, basically, I need other places for recognition. So those other places can be controlled to the point where I just get starved. No one will hear from me, basically, but I know what the fuck I'm talking about, and I can make the world a better place. And that's what they don't want. It's just like Bernie Blackout. It's the same fucking thing, basically. When you talk to him, like, he can feel a stadium, hell of people, but he can't feel a chat room. I wonder why. I wonder what's going on there. That's weird, huh? And then we see this, and then this is true. Like, this actually happens. There's people that are born with gold tooth. There's people that are born like, oh, try to figure out the word dab. Oh, you figure it out. It's because, oh, we actually answered it for you. That's fine. We'll accept it anyways. Like, meanwhile, him is like, okay, you gotta figure out what Albuquerque is. We're looking for one word in particular. Nope, you didn't get you out of here. You're done. Garbage. Nope. You're stupid. Like, that bias, it controls us. Like, that bias is in my friends group. That's why all my friends that were behind the friend that starts with the letter M, I'm not gonna call him out here, cause fuck that dude. But everyone that followed him, their lives fucking got ruined by him because he led them into the ground, basically. If he had let people, follow me, as it should have naturally happened, it naturally would have happened. But if he wasn't a shit talker and a backstabber and a long sack of shit, the world would be a great place. But because he's a long sack of shit and he's all about me, I want to win, I want things, I want the stuff, but you don't deserve it. And that's like a small case scenario of what America has become and America is. And that's what we have to fight through and fight for. That's why Jordan Peterson's saying, where's all the men? Where's all the alphas? They're being crushed under people like Destiny and that one friend that starts with the letter M, right? That's what's going on. Like, split the class down the middle. And it was for an example to make a point, but in reality, that's actually, oh, it's because my son is on the winning side, and so we allowed them to win and fuck everybody else, and so we brought down the number by 50%. It's not because if they're better or worse, it's because they just happen to be on the side of my son. And that's the condition for success. Like, that's the bullshit, right? And that's why the American dream is dead. So, but yeah, or is dying rather. It still exists in some parts of the world, but yeah, they control the system. That's why they say, oh, the algorithm. Oh, the algorithm, right? That's why fucking what's it called? What's his name? What the fuck is his name? Elon Musk. Why he became #1 on Twitter, and kind of like once upon a time when you on Facebook, I think it's called Facebook, how Tom, everyone had was friends with Tom as a default. Like, that's how you would do it, right? And I can choose to follow or unfollow whatever, but they made it seem like, oh, you want to follow Elon because isn't he captivating you? Don't you want? Like, isn't what he's saying what you? But it's front and center all the fucking time. Like, most music today is bullshit, and you can have a hit book, you know, one seller, but because of the system, like, unless your front page on CBS, you'll never have a fucking bestseller because we're never gonna publish your story. Because fuck you, kid. That's what it is. That's what decides. Like, who the fuck are you? Why does the world have to go through you to get this message across? What the fuck is going on? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, more to come. Hit the follow button. You know, grassroots is the only way. You gotta share me. You gotta pass me on to your friends, the ones you love and whatnot. Cause the system don't like me. The system wants to shut me down. Like, I'm gonna tell you, I will show you the way, right? And they don't like that. They want you to fight. They want the division. They don't like the fact that I bring calmness and what's it called, education and enlightenment, basically. But anyways, that is true. They exploit that, and now you know. Knowing's out about G.I. Joe. Brought to you by the Loader 7.